There's a line from the song Rock and Roll High School by the Ramones. It goes like this: I don't care about history because that's not where I want to be. Now, if you love the Ramones like I do, you know it's funny, it's tongue-in-cheek. But the reality is, when you think about that lyric, it's pretty sad because it reflects how so many people think about history and that it's something that kind of just goes away and dies. But the reality is, history lives forever if we're quick to grab it. So what you're about to see is a short video derived from a phone call that I had with a highly decorated Vietnam War helicopter pilot. We were talking about something else when the conversation took this unexpected turn. And he started talking about a moment 50-some years prior when he was in the cockpit of his Cobra attack helicopter. And I had the presence of mind to grab it by hitting record on my phone. And he made history come alive.
All right, so let's start over from the beginning. How did you keep your cool? How do you compartmentalize, or how do you keep your head when you're getting hit and you're flying missions 2-3 times a day and you just keep doing it?
Yeah, well, how about 6 or 8 times a day?
Okay, how do you do it?
Well, it took time, but I'll never forget what happened. I think it was March 31st. Now, I had just been in my company a month. And we had gone in, I don't know if I told you the story, but we had gone into another landing zone that we had abandoned maybe 6 months before. And it had all type of bunkers and everything in it. And they had it set up with artillery and everything. And so they left. And 6 months later, we're going back in. So they're loading a bunch of troops in. And I go in, I was in the Cobra, 1 minute out, and we found 6 scavengers. These were 6 bad guys that were in there trying to scavenge stuff, right? They were looking for food, different cans, different stuff that we had left behind, as Americans. So we caught them red-handed. And I was new. I think it was the first time I had ever seen the bad guys face to face. And so I'm in the front seat. Started probably about 500, then I'm down to 200 feet. We're chasing them. They're in front, and I use my minigun. And I go zip, 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 zip. And then they're running in trail. And they all go down except for the first guy. He just tucks and he rolls and he jumps up and he looks at me, looking right at me, and he's pointing his rifle at me. And I see the muzzle flash. I said, that son of a bitch, he's trying to kill me. So I zero my minigun in on him, and I go, well, I figured it was probably about 600 or 700 bullets. Just think it coming down on this guy. And it's a wall of lead. And when it hit him, it was like slow motion. I saw his rifle just turn into toothpicks. And then he melted in front of me. Melted into the ground. Gone. I had never seen anything like that. And my aircraft commander, he flew off after seeing that and what was left behind. And I said, did you see that? He said, oh my God. And I started laughing. hysterically. I couldn't stop it. It was uncontrollable. I lost it. I laughed and lost it. And he goes, "It'll be all right, you know." And it was after a while, it seemed like it was the longest time I laughed. And then I stopped. And at that time, after that, there was a wall that was built up, and I couldn't feel anything. That's what happens. You know, when they talk about PTSD, right? That was my trigger. So I had no feelings. I couldn't laugh. I didn't feel like, you know, I couldn't cry. I didn't feel any empathy. I didn't feel good, bad, nothing. I just felt nothing. From then on, it took many, many years for me to even smile again. And when I would laugh, it was like, oh wow, I'm coming back. And it was that bad. So that's how you maintain it. So after that, when they would shoot at me, it didn't even bother me. Boom, just go right into it. And just your experience, your training takes over and you do what you have to do. And just, you're a gunslinger. They can't kill you. That's it. So that's what happened.
Wait, you said it took 10 years. What
At least 10 years before I could laugh.
what changed that for you?
Time.
Just time.
Yeah. Put it this way. I, for many years, was nothing wrong with me, ever. I can handle anything. I was a combat officer. I was a captain. Infantry. Nothing's gonna bother me. That's the way you feel. And then I went to the VA. I've had some other medical things in my legs or some stuff, right? So, and it was, I think in 1980, 79 and 1980. So it was 10 years after. They said, you know, Captain, what we'd like to do is we have a new test that we do on people. We want to see if we can test and see if you have PTSD. I said, I don't have that shit. I said, I'll take the test. Well, it was a 12-week test. And I got a certificate, and they stamped it and said, you're 100% fucked up, O'Neil. That's it. You're fucked. I went, oh my God, really? They said, oh yeah, what do you think? You drink, you go out, you fight, you do everything, and you speed, you have fast cars and everything. They said, that's all part of it. I said, oh really? I just thought it was me. And that's what happens. You know?
Well, do you feel like you're over your PTSD?
Yeah. I feel that the government did me good. Okay, because once they said that and they said, "Boom, yes, you got it," and you know, it was like I went through a course and I passed at 100%, and I got my certificate.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. Like, okay. And so at that time, I was awarded 100%.
So disability?
Yeah.
Michael, I know you. I've known you for a few years. You are so far from disabled.
I'm 100%.
I don't get it. You're successful. I mean, I know what you do. You're successful in business.
I know, but I did things for 20 years before they said, you gotta stop. Oh, Neil, you gotta stop. You smell the roses. We want to help you.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Pretty soon, the Vietnam generation is going to go the same way as the World War II generation and every generation before it. And the rest of us will be left with whatever's left behind, whatever's playing on the screens, with whatever historians find interesting, with whatever AI wants to tell us. But it won't be enough, especially if somebody close to us was really there and we want to learn more. Every day the lives around us are expiring, and they leave behind, what, money? Photos? Or do they leave behind something far more important, far more permanent, and far more valuable? I have a phrase that people have seemed to like, and it's this: history is nutritious. And the only way, though, to prove that out is to look at history like a meal and dig in. And when you do that, hit record